Hello humans, welcome back. Buzzcut is still going strong. I really like it and it's growing out. It's growing out quite quickly, so yeah, really liking that. Pride Month is coming up and I was hoping to do quite a few videos this month. Fingers crossed, especially now that uni's finished. I theoretically have more time to film and edit them, but we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I wanted to start with a Q&A about me, I guess. Yeah, about me. I wanted to do an LGBTQ plus themed Q&A. So I put on my socials for people to send in questions, anything they want to know about me, my gender, pronouns, sexuality, literally anything. So I'm going to answer them and hopefully it will help you get to know me, and it should be quite fun and interesting, and it'll be nice for me as well because I've been doing a lot of like finding myself recently, so it'll be nice to like put what I'm thinking and feeling into words as well, like answer the questions for myself as well. The first question is, what's your sexuality? So in October 2020 I came out as bisexual, and lately I've been sort of questioning it. Like, I know that I'm definitely attracted to more than one gender. It's just lately I've been like, am I pansexual? Am I bisexual? I kind of relate to both, and also both the flags are really pretty. Like some days I can relate more to pansexuality, and then other days bisexuality. So when people ask me that, I sort of say like, I'm bi, pan. Usually I say bi first because officially, well not officially, like, but like most people know, like I've come out as bi but I haven't come out as pan exactly. So the next question is there a gender that you prefer to date? And I would say, well, I don't really know, because at this point in my life I've only ever been with men, with cisgender men. I can't really say that I prefer a gender based on my experiences, because it's a very limited experience. I don't really know. I like the idea of, obviously because I'm bi, pan, whatever, but I like the idea of dating a woman or a non-binary person. It just hasn't happened for me yet. And the next question, this is more about gender. What are your pronouns? So at the beginning of the year, I think it was, I decided that I wanted to change my pronouns and I started using she, they. It felt really good, like when people would use they, I'd get so excited, like I still do. It just made me really happy. So then recently I thought, I decided to switch the order and change it to they, she. So far I haven't really had much of a change, but I'm happy to have these pronouns and for people to know them as well and use them, because I've been thinking about my gender a lot lately and I definitely know that I identify by they, them. I can relate to that, but then also there's part of me that's like, I feel like a she, her. Like I identify by both of them, so you're welcome to use either. I don't mind. I don't necessarily have a preference, but for now I've moved they to the first pronoun because I'm just trying out how it feels being referred to as they, them more so than she, her, just to see how it feels, if it like helps me. And then the next question is, what's your gender identity? I still don't really know. I really want a label because I like to know, what's going on, but personally I don't know if there is if there is a term for how I feel I am, or at least not one singular one. I suppose I might be a demigirl or genderqueer. I'm leaning more towards genderqueer because it just feels more I don't want to say inclusive, but like it encapsulates it a bit more than demigirl for me. sometimes I feel feminine, sometimes I feel a bit more androgynous, and so yeah, I'd say those are like my two sort of styles, and that sort of helped me find out a label for the time being at least, and how I feel I can identify. The next question, I'm going to answer it for both sexuality and gender. When did you first realise, and how did you know that I am the way I am? Sexuality wise, I started questioning it in 2020. At that point I was in a relationship. Kind of want to know what it would be like to be with a girl, and like I've always felt like I have been attracted to women, but growing up I was always kind of like, we didn't have the education that I know that I have now. Growing up I felt like to me it seemed like you could either be straight or gay. Like I wasn't aware that there were like in-betweens, or that there could be more to it than that really. I do remember around age 12, 13 I was questioning my sexuality. I was like, am I a lesbian? Am I like, I think about girls quite a bit. But at school, like, they're telling you about puberty, and they're saying like how you'll think about these things and how your body's changing. Because your body's changing, you'll think about people of the same sex because your body's going through that. And now I'm like, no, I am just gay. I've watched and read Pretty Little Liars, and I was really interested in Emily's storyline, and I was like, I'm way more interested in when this book describes falling in love with a woman than when it describes the other characters falling in love with men. And I remember saying to my mum, I said, would you, I was about 12, I said, would you still love me if I was a lesbian? And she was like, of course. Like, she'd support me for everything, and some of the questions here are hers, so it was really, really nice getting some input from her for this, so thank you, Mama. Yeah, and that's just stuck with me, and yeah, a few times since then I've been like, am I a lesbian? But I think at the time I've just realised that at that point maybe I just wasn't as into men as I was women at the time. Like, it sort of fluctuates, perhaps. I'm still not really sure. More of my friends were coming out as well at that time when I was about 17, 18. So I was starting to realise that like there could be more to sexuality than just being straight or gay, which is great. So yeah, and I'm really happy that I can be honest about that now and explore it more and discover myself a bit more. In terms of gender, I didn't really question my gender growing up, like really until the past 6 months or so at uni, because like I say, I've met so many different people here, and being in the LGBT society as well has like made me realise how diverse the community is and how much more complex and how much more there is to gender and sexuality than I ever knew and that we're ever taught growing up. So I started to think about how like there's more to me than just being a woman. I feel like there's just that something else, and yeah, I'm not sure if I do identify as non-binary. If I do, I'd say non-binary woman, if that's possible. I don't know. Feminine NB, fembi, if you will. Yeah, I don't want to be making up terms, so. Well, I will say that growing up I was, especially when I was a bit younger, like around the age of 9 or so, I was a tomboy. Definitely went through that sort of phase. And around the time of age when I was about 14 as well, I didn't wear skirts to school for about 2 or 3 years, which doesn't like clothes don't equal gender, of course, but for a while like I was just wearing trousers. I cut my hair a few times to donate it, and sometimes I liked it short as well, but I also liked it long, so like I think I've always been a bit confused. I just didn't know it really until recently. So the next question is, do you feel more comfortable in feminine or masculine clothes? Like I say, I'm more like feminine, androgynous kind of vibes. Like, it would just sort of depend on the day, how I feel, what clothes I have clean and dry. I've always really liked shopping in the men's section as well. Like, the socks are so much more fun. Blimey. And I like baggy clothes as well, so like oversized like men's shirts or something. But then lately I have been finding that I do really like shopping in the women's section as well. I really have come out of my shell fashion wise and just expressed myself, been exploring all sorts of styles, and it's really fun until I look at my bank account. And the next question is again about gender. If you had a baby, would you raise it gender neutrally? I think I would. I'd buy like gender neutral clothes. I would probably get clothes from both the men's, women's and unisex sections of the store as they grow up and they can start like picking out what they want to wear. Like if we go shopping for clothes, they can choose what they want to get and it's up to them. And then like, they're human, they're allowed to express themselves even though they're tiny. Even though they're really young, like they're still allowed to do that, and I think that's really important. And in terms of like pronouns, I would probably use the pronouns assigned to their sex at birth as well as they them, because it's inclusive. Like it lets them know that they aren't restricted to just he, him or she, her. And then again, like with the clothes, like they are allowed to make their own choices and discover for themselves like who they are and what they like. So yeah, I guess basically I would. But I was thinking about like names, and I feel like Bear would be a really cute gender neutral name. I think it's so cute. But yeah, I won't be having kids for a while. I am good with the 2 nephews. That's fine. Perfectly happy with the way things are. What's your favourite piece of queer representation in the media? I really like the next question's about sort of media as well, so I really like these questions because again, growing up we didn't really have, society is very heteronormative and so is the media, schools and education. I do wish that there'd been more queer films and stories and such, or media representation when I was growing up. I mean, obviously there are, they're just not as mainstream, they're not as popularised. Yeah, which is a big shame. Now there's more coming out. I need to watch Heartstopper. I know I need to watch that. I haven't watched it yet. I started watching Sex Education a couple years ago, like after it had come out, and I remember thinking I wish I had watched this when it had come out. I mean, it was only like a year or so before I started watching it, but I was like, I wish I had started watching it then, because I probably would have come out a lot sooner than I had. It would have been nice to have come out earlier in my school years, or at least have had an answer for myself, like to know myself, to be able to know, would have been nicer, and I think shows like that would have helped me. So yeah, I guess I would say Sex Education would be my favourite representation until I watch Heartstopper, because I'll probably really like it. The next question is, what media representation has been most influential to you in your experience in coming out and learning more about my queerness? I guess I kind of already answered that with Sex Education. Do you think your long hair was confusing your gender identity? I was really interested by this question because it made me think. I definitely felt more feminine when I had my longer hair, like getting dressed up and going on nights out and stuff, especially with my hair. Like I could curl it or I could style it in really fun ways. So yeah, I guess actually thinking about it, it did kind of influence my gender identity, in that I did feel more feminine with it. Whereas now with the buzz cut, I do feel more myself, a little bit more androgynous but still feminine sometimes as well, which I like. because I wanted to do it anyway, and I will probably end up shaving my head again at some point, and I want to dye it and all sorts. Hopefully that answers the question. I don't know, I feel like I'm rambling so much on these and just not actually answering the questions. Is there something that you'd wish you'd known before you came out? Like I say, like, I do wish that I'd realised earlier on in my time at school that I was queer, but then I guess it also wouldn't make me the person that I am today. I wouldn't have learned what I have learned, and I wouldn't have experienced what I've experienced that's made me who I am today. Queer people exist, gender diverse people exist. It's not just straight and gay people and men and women. Like, there's so much more to it than that. Wish I'd known, like, I'm not alone. People like me exist. It's not just my brain going through puberty. It's more than that, and it's a good thing. You can make a lot of friends from it. It will hopefully one day be more clear, because there's still lots that I don't know, and hopefully that I will learn over time. And the last question is any LGBTQ plus dating advice, please. I wish I had some. I mean, really all I can say is just to be yourself, which sounds so like boring and like like obvious or whatever, but honestly, just don't be afraid of who you are or how people will see the real you. Like, if it's meant to be, then they will like the real you. You shouldn't have to pretend around anyone, let alone someone that you're in a relationship with or that you're close with. That's something that's definitely helped me, like, with relationships, like understanding who I am. So yeah, just be you and have boundaries. As with any like dating situation, have boundaries. Make sure that you communicate and stuff, because if you're also like, you're exploring your sexuality, like, it can be fluid, it can change. Make sure your partner or partners understand this, and you talk to them and they talk to you, and that you both understand each other. That's all I can really think of. I hope this was interesting for you. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I can get some more videos done this month, and they'll be fun for me to film and fun for you to watch, hopefully. So yeah, I'm very excited for Pride Month, and hope you all are too. I wish you a happy Pride Month, and you all have a good day and stay safe. I hope this video made you smile or laugh. I'll see you in the next video then. Bye!